We're more connected than ever, yet loneliness is an epidemic. And in the shadows of the internet, that loneliness is curdling into something dark. This is the story of the Manosphere, a vast digital network where men seek answers about their place in the world. But does it offer real community, or does it build a prison of the mind? To understand this, we need to look closely at its most extreme corner, the world of involuntary celibates, or incels. So, what exactly is the Manosphere? It's crucial to define it accurately. Scholars like Debbie Jing describe it as a digitally networked counter-public sphere. In practice, this means it's a collection of online communities, forums, blogs, social media groups, united by a shared belief in a crisis of masculinity. Its purpose is to articulate a worldview where men are seen as the real victims of feminism in modern society. It's not just a discussion forum, it's an identity-building project for those who feel alienated. This network isn't a monolith. It's a spectrum of ideologies. You have men's rights activists, MRAs, who focus on legal grievances. Men going their own way, MGTOW, who advocate for male separatism. Pickup artists, PUAs, who view dating as a game of manipulation. And at the farthest edge, involuntary celibates, incels, whose identity is defined by an inability to find romantic connection. Now, let's zoom in on the incel world, because it's here that the paradox of community versus echo chamber becomes terrifyingly clear. The initial draw is pure community. For someone drowning in loneliness and rejection, finding an incel forum can feel like a lifeline. Suddenly, there are people who speak your language, terms like Chad, Stacy, and the fatalistic black pill ideology. You are validated. You belong, but this is where the trap is sprung. This community is built on a shared belief that life is genetically predetermined, that improvement is impossible. And this is where recent research gets specific. A 2025 study by DeVetter and colleagues, which analyzed incel forums, found that these spaces are dominated by themes of hopelessness and permanent inferiority. The study describes how members reinforce a belief that they are unlovable and biologically destined to fail. This is the echo chamber in action. The community's language becomes a cage. Any hint of hope is attacked as naivety. The study's analysis shows how this constant reinforcement, this echo, pushes the entire group toward more extreme despair and resentment. The very place that promised to end loneliness becomes a factory that mass produces it. The community becomes a cult of negativity. So, what's the balanced view? It requires holding two truths at once, no matter how uncomfortable. First, we must condemn the ideology without reservation. The misogyny and nihilism that fester in these echo chambers are poisonous and dangerous. But second, we cannot ignore the human reality that drives people there. The incel phenomenon isn't just about hate, it's a symptom of a massive failure. It's a failure to provide young men with healthy spaces to talk about loneliness, rejection, and identity. Personally, I had to confront my own bias. My initial reaction was disgust. It's easy to dehumanize them. But the research forced me to see the pain behind the poison. My bias was to only see the monster. The harder truth is to see the wounded person who became one. So where do we go from here? Simply shutting down the echo chamber isn't enough. We have to ask the difficult question, what positive communities are we building to replace it? The call to action isn't just to criticize, but to construct. It's to foster real-world spaces, in schools, communities, online, where vulnerability is strength, not a weakness. Where boys and men can learn that identity isn't about dominating others or succumbing to despair, but about building genuine connections. The Manosphere builds digital cages. Our challenge is to open the doors.